Welcome everyone to this tutorial. I am Mahmoud Zaki. In this tutorial series, we'll talk you through how to build your very first Windows 8 application, which will make you able to create a Windows Phone application. And then make a connection between your Windows 8 application and Windows Phone application in what is known by universal application, which is an application that is available for any device that runs Windows. يعني either it is a tablet, a Windows phone, a desktop computer, laptop, just any device that runs Windows 8, a Windows operating system. And this, I really hope that we learn Windows 8 application design development through a real application. This application would be a watermark placer, an application that I have designed and developed last November. Through learning this application, I think we'll cover some major topics, like مثلا how we open how we open مثلا image chooser, how we open folder chooser, how we process our folders and images in C sharp. We'll talk also about how storage folders how folders are manipulated through C sharp through something called storage folder. And what is the output of the image chooser? Any image chooser in any program that you have used before, how the data that you select when you select an image, how can this data benefit you through a program? Also, we're gonna talk about navigation between pages, since this application contains multiple pages, so each and every page which will have to communicate with other pages through passing parameters between pages. Either they are simple variables, like مثلا like any variables in any programming language, يعني مثلا integers, floats, strings, or in the C sharp XAML programming. They could be images, مثلا folder locations type. But if they are like I've told you, multiple variables of multiple types, we'll use a concept of navigation between pages called classes. يعني we'll use classes in navigation between pages. And then we will talk you through a ready-made code on dragging and dropping مثلا images that we will use when you drag and drop logos. Also, we'll talk you through how you can take a screenshot of a control. A control is simply مثلا a place أو a rectangle where you output أو input to the user in your application. We'll use the concept of screenshot of control extensively in this application to make a watermark. Then at the end, we'll talk you through how you can about the concept of a watermark in this application, how you place a watermark on several images at once. You would also see a simple loading animation. It's extremely simple to use, extremely simple to design. And you would learn how to design your own loading animation. Our application is our program flow path can be considered to be of three main pages. مثلا the very first page is just to specify to ask the user to specify the dimensions of the horizontal and vertical images that you would to place as folders, since the application automatically generates images with watermarks. So just an input for the program would be dimensions. In this application, we just make it easy for the user. He don't have to manually input the number of pixels of the horizontal image or the vertical image. So he just specify an image, and the program will understand the dimensions and will use dimensions in the process يعني. Then we would ask the user to specify an output folder which he would like his images to be output in. Then we would go to the second page, which will give the user the ability to place his watermarks or his logos on the dimensions which he have previously chosen, or even manually if you are working with a professional user, you could be able to مثلا to manually change the dimensions of a horizontal and vertical image. Also, he would be able to scale down his logo, or scale down or up يعني his logo, and change its opacity. And then you would go to the third page. Of course, you can see يعني that we go from the first to second and third page in each process or in each time the user uses the application. So we would extensively using passing the parameters from page to another. And here comes the use of the navigation of parameters actually. And then in the third page he just add يعني hundreds of images, horizontal and vertical images, that he would like to be processed automatically يعني. Although يعني this is the application watermark placer. You can see it by just typing watermark placer in the store, download it. Tell me what do you think about it. I think it's a good opportunity to learn Windows 8 through this application, since this application can cover many topics like I've told you before. So let's just start by choosing an image dimensions. Let's start by horizontal dimensions actually. Let us choose this image. When you choose an image, all the application require just the dimensions of the image selected. This what I have named processing of images when you choose an image. Then we will use the vertical dimensions. Specify the vertical dimensions. Let's specify this dimension. Choosing the output folder. Let us choose this output folder, any output folder in your program in your computer. Then we'll go to the next page. The next page, like I've told you before, is the page where you would place logos on the previously specified dimensions. Here in this application, there is just extremely simple helping scenario that would tell the user that the specified dimensions are larger than than what his screen can manage. So just press Control and play with the scroll button edge. Then we will add a logo. Let us choose this logo, or you can just drag and drop like I've told you before. Let us scale it down a bit, and then let us go to the vertical dimensions. Like I've told you before, a just extremely simple helping scenario to just make it easy for the user to use. And then we'll go to the third and final page. Extremely simple page, just with this extremely simple button of add photos. You just add photos, any photos, either horizontal or vertical, and then with the logic of the program that we'll talk about later, the program specify either either the selected images are horizontal or vertical, and then would place logos like you have specified in the second page on the dimensions that you have specified on the first page. An extremely simple loading animation that you would be more than capable of doing it yourself. Then we would see that the output folder, all the images are just done in a click of a button. This application can be useful when you are asked to do to watermark مثلا hundreds of images at once. No one would be able to make it to make every and to put his logo on each and every image of the hundreds of images. Even if you are using actions on Photoshop, you would be asked to make an action for the horizontal and vertical images, and then on each image you would specify which action to be processed. So I think this application would be much easier. I hope this application, this tutorial would help you. And I'm done with my first video. I really hope that you would see my next series of tutorials. Feel free to tell me what do you think about it, about this tutorial, and thank you.